Good Morning Portugal radio show and podcast. And you'll see on your screen, I was just laughing with him before. He's got a very media name. It's Owen Lloyd Martin, everybody, on CNN with his business news from his part of the world. Hey, how are you?
Morning, all.
Yeah, you have to keep that up for the whole show.
I'm very well, Carl, very well. Apart from no problem at all. We can carry on with that. Excuse me, I'm just using my earpiece.
Well, excellent to see you. And Owen's one of my friends made in Portugal and lives in... We're just trying to find out, actually, before we go to the weather. We will do the normal things this morning, everybody. We'll do the weather. We'll look at a beautiful property of the day, which I think Owen plans to buy already anyway. And we can't probably not talk about Brexit this morning and talk to him about his experience here, because that's what it's all about on Good Morning Portugal, is about being an explorer and an expat and discovering life here. And he's got the T-shirt. He's been here 3 years, and we'll talk to Owen about his particular experience here. But you were saying you're not in Santarém as I thought. You're in the Castelo Branco region, just to put it in perspective for everybody.
Castelo Branco.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Castelo Branco, Arixela, near Portugal Pequena.
Yeah.
Portugal Grande.
And
excuse the pronunciation, but I'm sure we'll get on to the pronunciations.
Yes, we just do what most people do, avoid it. Just keep avoiding just cough and mutter the really difficult words. That's my strategy, just to give him a little bit of a heads up on how that can work. But near Certo, where there's a lovely Sunday market, it's a really nice part of the world where you live. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that, Owen, to set the scene?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, regardless to the disaster in 2017 with the fires, the area is still so beautifully and lush and full of wildlife. I'll quickly go into my counter at the moment. I've seen 2 genet, 6 deer. I think it's about 24 wild boar, and it's great to see that. I mean, great and good. There's good and bad in it. It's great to see the wildlife there, but and I suppose the reason I'm seeing that is because of the fires, because of the loss of habitat. But I mean, the hillside, the mist in the morning, the rise of the mist, because obviously the microclimate up here. It's amazing. It's an amazing place. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and Arixela is the absolute epicenter of where you are, isn't it? And you've got that fantastic reservoir near you as well, with a very dramatic... Were they letting some water through the other day?
Yeah, I actually posted my videos on Facebook and a few photographs of the dam, because ever since I got here and I saw the dam and was told about, once in a while the vents are open to let all the water out, and I thought, well, it's a must-see. And my neighbour that's down the road here, that's been here for over 30 odd years, and we went down with his van and another friend. We went down to take some photographs, and it's an awesome, just the power alone and the sound just down by the bottom there was amazing. I've got some, like I say, I do have some videos there on Facebook of it, but I think that's what it is as well. It's just so there's so much here to see in such a small space.
I just had the weirdest thought.
A lot of it. And I'm talking about Portugal in whole.
Yeah, sure. What's the name of that reservoir?
Well, it's the I'm sure it's the Cabril Dam.
Cabril, yeah.
My pronunciation is right.
When I saw your video, I was thinking this is the moment when all men think about getting a prostate checkup, and women are reminded to do their pelvic floor muscles exercises. It's not a wonder of nature because it's a man-made thing, isn't it? But it remarkable as well. I remember when we came to see you on the way home, we went to these pontoons that are on the reservoir. Portuguese families, jumping in the reservoir and swimming. It's the most amazing thing that I'd never experienced before. It's really fantastic to be able to swim in this little enclosed part of it. It's incredible up there, isn't it? Really, really lovely part of the world that you're in. So let us.
It's amazing when you have. Sorry.
No, carry on.
It's great. It's great when I was with a friend the other day, Sarah, and she was telling us the story of when she was at the very same pontoons but the children were eating sandwiches sat on the edge and the bread fell in, and then all of a sudden there was a multitude of carp all around her, and she decided not to swim in the pontoon thing, but actually to get into the lake and swim with the carp.
Oh, lovely.
You know, and it's just that when you hear people and you see people's faces when they talk about their experiences of that, you get fulfillment yourself. It sounds really strange, but you know, it was really a nice story to hear.
Swimming with the fishes in a good way. Right, so let's have a look at the weather as we do. And you can corroborate if this is correct. If the goodmorningportugal.com weather page is in any way accurate, you're in Castelo Branco. It's a big district, obviously, so the weather will vary a little bit. But it's saying to me that you've got an overcast day of about 12 degrees currently. Does that sound about right?
That is probably spot on. It is overcast. We don't have any rain at the moment. We've had light showers through the morning. Yeah, about overcast, 12 degrees. I'm actually looking at your forecast, and I so hope you've got it wrong for tomorrow. It's supposed to be sunny tomorrow. I'm relying on it for my solar power.
Oh dear, right, okay. Well, then we can talk about that as well, because you really have got your house, I think, is the best of all worlds. It's a beautiful. It doesn't, you know, I'm sounding a bit sort of prejudiced about, you know, nil-bill off-grid living. But it doesn't look like an off-grid house, but it has all the off-grid paraphernalia to go with it, isn't it? It looks an absolutely beautifully styled house, and usually there's a kind of look that goes with off-grid homes, isn't there? And yours looks like quite sort of formal, posh, house, and you've got all the off-grid business as well. So, yeah, I'm sorry to say it's not looking like a very well. Next week is when you can expect some more power. On Monday, by the look of it, 18 degrees for you on Monday.
So yes. So if I do cut out any time at all,
yeah, well, no, why?
Means that the power's gone.
20 degrees on Tuesday. What sort of temperatures are you getting there in the height of summer?
Oh, the highest, obviously going back to 2017, was 42.
42 degrees.
But we do have, I would say, on an average, throughout the summer, we're talking 36.
Really?
You know, 36.
And generally speaking,
it's amazing. Like I've done many a video where I've got up in the morning and it's been total mist, and then I've done a video 10 minutes later, and you know, I'm in a t-shirt and it's sweltering. So it's that, and that's what I love about it. That's what I love about Portugal as a whole.
Yeah, it's not like the Algarve then, where you got a fairly sort of standard weather pattern. Obviously, a slight seasonal variation, but you've got you've got 4 seasons in one day sometimes, have you, in that bit of Castelo Branco?
Absolutely, yeah. But it's great. I mean, with the hills and the lake and everything else, it's really, you know, it's a really nice place.
Brilliant. And does it get cold?
Hence the reason of looking at that property. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just I would say the last 2-3 weeks, you know, I've seen more and more chimneys blazing around the village, mine included. But I tend not to really bother about it, because I have a fire late on in the day rather than in the morning, purely because if I chop wood, I could chop wood all day. But I'd rather do it in the evening. I've got less to chop. I'm warm when I've chopped the wood, and you know, and I'm asleep by the time the fire's got warm. So, you know, why expend all the energy? Do it at the night time.
There you go, folks. He's living like a Portuguese. That's the way to do it, to fit in with actually the rhythms of life here. So
you can see,
go on, please. Sorry.
You can see the amount of gardeners we are ready with the wellies to get out there, because I certainly am. I can't wait to. There's so much I need to plant out. You know, the garden needs sorting. You know, and I'm late. You know, and the weather's been a big factor of that. You know, so I can't wait for the dry days to come, so I can get out there and start sowing some seeds.
Well, can I ask you about my naivety about coming here, and if you share this, that I thought you'd be at a garden all year round, in just your wellies and very little else. And the winter thing, I know it sounds really naive and a little bit stupid, but the winter thing has been a real surprise to me. Did you have your sort of utopian vision of all year gardening crushed a little bit?
This is the first year I've experienced it. The weather hasn't been. I've not seen it as dull. It's been a lot warmer than this time of the year. I mean, obviously, I used to do a lot of Facebook Live videos, so I look back on them and I think, God, I'm in a t-shirt, I'm in shorts, at that time of the year. So yeah, this is a bit of a shock for me because I know just by looking straight ahead of me, the things I can see in the garden is that, that should have been trimmed, that should have been, the kumquats of the tree out there are nearly there. And I know this time last year that they were in a basket and, it's that.
Very interesting. So come on then, tell us more about all the fruit in your garden and what people can expect when the weather does get better.
Okay, so we've got the kumquats, as I said. We have the Buddha's Fingers lemon, which we discussed on one of your podcasts some time ago. Since then, I've done a little bit more research and I found out that was the original citrus fruit of which where the lemon came from.
The granddad.
So that's the granddaddy of all citrus fruit. Yeah. The pomegranates have been and done. We got now all the oranges. So I've got the navel, I've got the blood. Oh, I can't remember the other 4 types. They're all coming through now. So I have a glass of juice every morning. Yes.
Just freshly squeezed Portuguese orange juice.
And then the grapefruits, they're doing well at the moment. The blood oranges, as I've just said. The limes, the kaffir limes are up. It's mainly the citrus fruits at this time of the moment. Like I said, I'm a bit behind with my veg because of obviously situations in my life. Not been able to get out there as much as I'd like to. But I've just purchased some peanut plants. So they're already in pots. They're not going into the garden because, as we was talking earlier about properties. So I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff into pots this year that obviously I want to take with me. Eventually, when I leave this place.
Yes. All right. So you've been here 3 years. In terms of high points and the thing I call the Portuguese moment. Can you share 1 or 2 of yours where you have that moment where you think, yes, this is what I moved here for? That moment of fulfillment and satisfaction that's to do with this wonderful country.
Well, do you know, I would say was the first one was probably in my 2nd month of being here, was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, walking down to the lake. It's about 20 minutes from here with my fishing rod and my headphones, and being able to just sit down there every morning and just cast a line. And I didn't do anything because once again I saw the carp in the lake and I just sat there and then I saw a couple of buzzards, and the booted eagle, and this is all in that one morning. And I sat there and I looked and my rod was there, the line wasn't wet, and I just thought, yeah, I like this. So that was one moment, and then the other one is to do with the garden, but not actually my garden. And this is my neighbour's garden. He's been here over 30 odd years. A great guy, a master carpenter at that. And his garden, he's got 10 hectares on his land. He built his own house, and as I said, he's a master carpenter, but he's used his old saw blades as wind chimes, and he's used a lot of the fallen trees and some of the fallen trees from the fires as well, madronia trees. He's actually carved them into owls, so they're all over the place. But the saw blades are wind chimes. So when I do go down to visit him on a Sunday morning before we go to market, I always have 10 minutes in the garden, and I sit in the garden because you can hear the running water from the stream at the bottom. You can hear the wildlife, and you can hear the chiming of the bells, and it's just a beautiful little Zen garden, and it just takes everything away.
Fantastic.
And that was another thing that just made me think, yeah, I'm here, I'm in the right place.
Yes, is he the fella that does the? You mentioned madronia there. Is he the one who makes the madronia liqueur?
Yes. Yes,
allegedly.
I had a lovely. I had a 14-year-old one the other day. We were talking. He was actually clearing out the his cellar, and there was a bottle there that he'd forgotten he had, and I had a little taste of it. And you know, it's an acquired taste for a lot of people, but you know, with me being of West Indian parents, is that it tastes like rum, ever so slightly for me. So I've got I've taken a bit of a liking to it.
Amazing.
You know,
Louise is here now, by the way. She might not want to be live on Facebook because she's still in her dressing gown. But
hi, Louisa.
Hola.
You don't get this on every
Hola.
morning
Hi.
TV show, do you?
Pancakes.
No, that's
pancakes and some local orange juice. Fantastic.
Oh.
Amazing. So, 14-year-old Madronia liqueur.
Louisa, I will send you the recipe, by the way.
Okay, he will send you the recipe, by the way, whatever that was. But I'm looking forward to it already. 14-year-old Madronia liqueur. These are the sorts of things you never thought you'd discover, I suppose, on the way over to Portugal. And any other surprises like that?
No, do you know the thing that still gets me, that I really, really do love, and that is when the Portuguese people understand that you are trying. And this is a language thing, you know, obviously, you know.
Yes, indeed.
It's when the Portuguese really, really think, yeah, bless him.
Give it a go.
It's not quite right, but bless him, he's trying, you know. I like that, you know, because it makes you feel even more wanted. It makes you feel even more welcome.
Yeah, that is a lovely thing. And yeah, it's so great, isn't it? There are the things you thought you would experience, like my silly thing with the weather, and which I'm being naturally and organically schooled about, and then the things you couldn't see coming, like the hospitality and kindness and generosity of people, generosity in every way, you know, like you're saying, they're sort of spiritually generous and emotionally generous, as well as the bags of oranges and vegetables and this, that, and the other, and sweets. And they go to the market with the kids. Yeah. The lady on the bread counter, the bread stall, she gets some sweets for the kids. You know, you're just walking past. It's amazing, really amazing.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, and that is amazing market. That one near you, that Ceuta Sunday market, if I'm correct, it is. You get a great sense of a very traditional gathering of people, and theirs is on a Sunday. You know, the markets vary, don't they, throughout Portugal? But Ceuta is a Sunday, and everyone's there. Everyone's checking up on each other. Still alive? How are you doing, health-wise? Buy your stuff.
No, Ceuta is on the Monday.
Oh, okay. Is it Pedrogo?
I'm sure Ceuta is on the Monday. Okay. Pequena.
Okay.
Yeah, we have our market on a Sunday. It's great because I know, and I've done the videos. Every time I do a video, it's always at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning, because I have the church bells ringing, and you can actually see the bell ringer. But while I'm also know I'm safe to go home now, because I'm out of the market, because everybody's coming out of church and they're all going to market.
Brilliant.
So I always get to the market before everybody comes out of church. But yet, you still mix. You sit at the cafe. You speak not just with people from all other countries, but the Portuguese as well. It's really good to catch up with everybody.
Yeah.
I see my neighbour, my direct neighbour, that's only maybe 150 yards that way. I see her every week, once a week at the market. I very rarely see her at her house. That's
the importance of the market for you. All right, so. Exactly, I think we've definitely sung the praises of your area, and we're going to look at a property to conclude. Before we do, I mean, you can't, as two Brits, former Brits, well, we're still British, aren't we? But we're formerly living in the UK. It's inescapable, the fact that I say we, it's such a loose description, but the UK, 11 o'clock this evening, will be done with the EU. How are you feeling about that? How's it affected you?
Carl, I've said this to a lot of people, is that I voted to leave and left because I knew that what at the time that myself and my ex-wife wanted was to be out of the UK because of the way we saw things were going. You know, we wanted that. We wanted our own financial stability. We wanted our own freedom in what we ate. and what we did. So we made the decision to come out here. So yeah, I don't have any regrets about voting to leave, because I knew I was leaving the UK anyway. So it wasn't really a political vote in a sense. I just voted Brexit because I thought it was the right thing for the UK to do. But I'll leave them to it.
It's a tricky one. It's so deeply polarized now, isn't it? You know, people who, you know, some seriously people on the left. I know. It wasn't a question about leaving or not. It was the obvious thing to do for some people on the left to leave the EU, with all that they understood it to be or what it had become, and that voice, the left voice of leaving, is just not heard anymore. Is it in the shrill polar atmosphere that we've got now? And there's no room for it, and that's one of the big problems, isn't it? There's no room for nuanced debate or positions with this. It got turned into something pretty ugly, and I just, you know, and you're going to see that tonight, aren't you? It isn't going to be like shaking hands and like, you know, the best man won, as it were, which is the sort of thing you might expect, you know, in the Brexit atmosphere. Gentlemen's rules and the best man won, and everything's in black and white again. There's going to be some gloating. There's going to be some gloating tonight, isn't it? It's going to be gloating and, you know, the silent chime and all that sort of stuff. So interesting times, I think. And it's so difficult, you know, because nobody really knows, do they? It's just, it really is a lot about emotion and very little about the facts about what could happen and people collaborating together to bring about, or to honour the way they want to express themselves politically and honour the way they want to live. That seems impossible to me now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I agree. Totally agree. But, you know, it's their war, Carl. It's their war.
Well, for anyone who's warring, that is, you've got it as much of it as you want, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
The conditions are set for it, and I just wish everyone the least difficult of times, and a memory really of what the whole blooming thing's about anyway. You know, the idea of whether you're an independence-focused person or if you're some super state kind of federal person, it's all about living a happy life. And, you know, maybe we need to bring the emphasis back on that and how we can all do that together. But anyway, Jeannie's she's here with us this morning. Jeannie says, "Bon dia, you two. My first Portugal moment was the beauty of Lake Idania Nova, which I do hear people speaking of fondly." Thank you for that, Jeannie. I think it's really lovely. Anyone else who's got their Portuguese moment, do share that with us.